they all were meaningful to them.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, if you want to share what you,
We just talk naturally.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, what the you share with me what this means to us, to you.
Well, I sit here, every morning, have coffee, have breakfast, and I watch all the birds that come in, and um, there's so many different species of bird that are coming in now because the land is being built up so much that their habitat is being taken away from them. And so they have to travel farther and they don't migrate as long far as they used to because the food supply is getting very scarce. And so if there's anybody around that feeds them and they find a place where they can go to get food, then that's where they'll congregate. Um, but living here all my life, I can see so many changes, in the landscape. And this land belongs to you and me and everybody.
Right.
And we all should take more pride in it and be more conscious of what goes on around us because the environment is changing so much
It really is.
that uh, people really have to pay attention to what's going on around them.
Right.
I've seen so many changes in the landscape and the temperature changes, the weather patterns.
Weather patterns, exactly.
Right. All of that stuff is what we never had before. And of course, the population is getting larger all the time. And that, that changes the way people live and the environment even. The pollution from productions of everything. So I often wonder what it's going to look like here in another 10 or 15 years. Of course, I won't be around that long. I don't think. If I do, it would be a miracle. But I really sit here and enjoy this property where I'm at because it's a great comfort, and I can relate to what it looks like now and what it used to look like when I was a kid coming up.
What would you want somebody who is new to this land, to this area, to Mashpee, what would you want them to know about this place? Somebody who, they didn't grow up here, they don't really have the connection. What would you want them to know based on your life and your experiences?
Mostly, I think they should concentrate more on protecting the land because everything pertains to the land. I mean everything. Your air, your food, everything comes from the earth. And if you don't protect the earth, then you won't have anything in a little while. Your food, water.
I'm sure, like, things that you've done over your lifetime here, even in your childhood, fishing and hunting and various activities, obviously are different, would be different now compared to
much different
your
now.
day.
The laws that they've made, they confine a lot of things that we used to be able to do freehand, travel, build, do whatever you wanted to. And way back in the old days, everybody had to live together and work together, and they helped each other. It was more like community.
Yeah.
And that was how we survived, you
Right.
know, by helping each other mostly. Today, the people got more on their mind, and one thing that really hurts, but can't be helped, is two people having to work now in the family and to make a living, you know.
Yeah.
And that's hard on the children because the kids are neglected because the families, parents are so involved with trying to keep things together, you know. That I think the children more or less are suffering from lack of attention with their families.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's obviously so much different than when you were young, because of course it was a whole different era then, where the activities maybe that you did as a child are certainly nothing like today.
Yeah, yeah. Years ago, we had a strict times for meals, in the morning, at noon, and at night. Especially at night, when at the supper table, everybody would sit and come around, and the whole family would be sitting at the table at once. No, nothing of grabbing this and running, you know. We sat there and we ate and we talked about what happened during the day, and actually, I guess it's really an entertainment thing, because in those days you didn't have radios, televisions, telephones, or any of that stuff. So everybody was interested in what someone else had, or who they met during the day, a neighbor, or what they talked about. It was a conversation.
Right.
And it brought families closer together, I think, you know.